How's it going, everybody? Welcome back into another video, and today is more Sundance coverage. I know, a lot of Sundance coverage in your guys' faces, but this is actually the final video covering Sundance 2021, so a little bittersweet. I had a lot of fun covering it, but it's now time to move on, prepare for South by Southwest, and we're gonna do it all over again, everybody. But thank you so much for taking the time to click on the video and just checking it out. And today we are ranking that. Yes, we are ranking all 22 films I saw at Sundance. Now, that consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 short films and 16 features. So got a little bit of everything, lots of different genres, lots of different things. Basically what we're going to do is I'm not going to give you long reviews. If you want to see longer reviews on any of these films that I covered today, I have individual reviews for some of the features, and then I have a video that was the last video that came out where I went through every film that I saw at Sundance and I reviewed every film. Now, they're not very long reviews, but they are reviews. So go check out that video. That covers every film that I had not given an individual review. I'll leave it down in the description. I'll leave it up in the iCard. Go check out that video so you can see all the reviews of all of the films I'm going to talk about today. And there's a playlist as well. Very convenient. So go over and check out the Sundance playlist. It's got all of my Sundance videos in there. So here we go. We're going to hop right into it without further ado. Let's get into number 22. And number 22 is Trepanation. Short film that I talked about in the bigger video. I didn't get it. If there was a bigger meaning, I certainly didn't understand. And that's just me. You know, the animation's pretty cool. I'll give it credit for that. But it lost me, and I may not have been paying fully attention, or I didn't get it, but for me it lost me. I give it a 61 out of 100, and it comes at number 22 on my list. Coming in at number 21 is Mother Schmuckers. The first feature on this list is down at number 21, and rightfully so. The everyone at Sundance the thinks it's not good. That is what everyone that I've seen, all of the critics that I follow, all of my friends have said it's not a good movie, and it's not. Talked about it in depth in my last video. There is a line, and it flew over that line. It got very inappropriate, very raunchy, and you know, I'm okay with some of that. You know, like, I watch R-rated movies. I'm okay with some of that, but there is a line, and it was clearly crossed in this film. It looks like the quality of like a bad YouTube video, and the jokes just are not funny. They are not. It does not land. They try to do it. It didn't work. Gave it a 67 out of 100, and it comes at number 22 on my list. Coming in number 20 is Flex. An experience that another one that I was kind of like, I don't really know what's going on here, but I don't think you're really supposed to. It's kind of like a trip, like a dream state. And like I said in the review, it's got an awesome Thor Zeus joke. Like, I got a kick out of that. And it was fun. It was fun for what it was, but it was not anything special. Like, I was like, okay, I did it. Didn't get anything out of it besides a laugh. And yeah, I give it a 66 out of 100, and it comes at number 20 on my list. And coming in at number 19 is The World to Come. This is by far my most disappointing film that I saw at Sundance, purely based on the potential. You've got a fantastic cast, you've got a really interesting synopsis and a very interesting time period, and it's not executed well at all. Performances are fantastic. They do what they can with the script, but the script is not good. It's not paced well. It is very long, very slow, and like I said before, it truly felt like I was sitting listening to an audiobook, because it was very long. And you can tell there are a lot of flaws in the script. So, by far my most disappointing one of the festival. And I give it a 70 out of 100, and it comes at number 19 on my list. Coming in at number 18 is Doublespeak. A very, very uncomfortable film to watch. but an important film to watch because it tackles a very important and terrible reality that women face in the world every day. And the performance from our main actress is heartbreaking, resounding, stunning, very, very well done. But it is a very hard one to watch. It is. And it ends kind of abruptly. So I'll say that. But, the performance is very heartbreaking, and it hits you, and the film will make you sick. It made me sick. Pretty well done, not too bad, but I wouldn't say it's like fantastic. But the performance alone is really great, and the message is important. So I think everyone should watch it at least once. It's online. It's fantastic in that right, where it really does portray something important. So I gotta give it credit for that. I did give it a 70 out of 100, but it's important nonetheless, so go check it out. Coming in at number 17 is Night of the Kings. Like I said in my review, I got a lot of respect for the technical aspects of this film. I think it's beautifully shot. I think it's very well done. There's just some writing that just, kind of lost me at points. I do get some of the overarching themes, and I respect those, but there's some, just nitty-gritty writing stuff that I was just kind of lost with. Some of the performances are pretty good. Like I said, the technical aspects are pretty well done, but there's some writing that just kind of lost me a little bit. It's not paced very well, and it left me a little confused. I'll just say that. But I give it a 70 out of 100. Not too bad at all. But yeah, it comes at number 17. Coming in at number 16 is Censor, one of the opening night films. Not opening night. Yeah, opening night. One of the opening night films. It's a trip, and it's confusing. It will find a cult following. I will guarantee that. This is like 80s horror slasher, gory, bloody. And I like that. Don't like that, but I'm okay with that to points. But this was a little shivers down the spine. I think it's a very technically well done film, but it really suffered from a very slow pace and some characters that I didn't really I didn't really resonate with. The writing was confusing, and I think they were trying to hide things to be clever, but for me, I was just like, wait, what's happening? So the writing did lose me. There was some flaws in the writing, but I was locked in though. I was paying attention. So it did bring some nice tension, but the script stuff did lose me, and that left me kind of at the finale, because I think the finale is supposed to be really significant, but it didn't strike a chord for me, unfortunately. But I gave it a 72 out of 100. It comes at number 16 on my list. Coming in at number 15 is Passing, another one that I was a little disappointed about. Not as disappointed as The World to Come. But it's just, this one also had a lot of potential. You got Ruth Negga, Tessa Thompson, directed by Rebecca Hall. And look, there are aspects I really like. There are. The performances are fantastic. I really like the stylish direction from Rebecca Hall. But it's not necessarily that I left confused. A lot of the ones back in the list, I was confused from the writing, stuff wasn't clear, or it wasn't clicking with me, or something like that. And that but this one, I felt unfulfilled. I really like the first half of this film. I really, really do. If it was just the first half of this film, I would rate it way higher. But a lot of the very important conversations that were started in the first half were not finished in the second half. They weren't even brought up. The second half turned into something I did not like. And the ending did not feel satisfying or fulfilled or earned or anything. It didn't, because we abandoned the conversations in the first half and turned it into a story of jealousy, basically. And I can get that to a point, but the tonal shift flipped so quickly that I was like, wait, what? So I still give it a 75 out of 100 because there are really good things about it, but the second half lost me, and that sucked because I really did dig the first half of this film. I really did. And it comes in at number 15 on my list. Coming in at number 14 is Mayday. This is a type of experience that I don't think I've ever had. This was a very euphoric experience in a film, very dreamlike, very trippy, and I liked that. I did like that at times. I think there are two performances in particular that really anchor the film well. You can go check out my full review for thoughts on those performances, and there was some pretty good, interesting direction. The writing, there were bits of it that I wasn't really sold on, some themes that I wasn't really the biggest fan of, but then there were also some other themes that I actually did kind of like about life, and there's light at the end of the tunnel, and themes like that. I enjoyed those types of themes, but it was a very interesting experience. I gave it a 75 out of 100. Run of the mill, not too bad, and it comes at number 14 on my list. Coming at number 13 is Tears Teacher, a short film by the New York Times about a doctor, not a doctor, but a teacher that helps people cry. Because crying has really good mental and physical health benefits. Like that's just science. It's proven that crying is really good for your mental and physical health. And I really liked to see this topic because it tackles like a stigma that crying in public means you're weak, which just isn't true. Like, you're showing emotion, which is good. Showing emotion is good. And I actually left this wanting more. It's like a 10-minute short doc that was really interesting, but I wanted more. I really did. But I think it was pretty well done. A topic that I was very interested in, but I really, really, really wanted more. I gave it a 75 out of 100, and it comes in at number 13 on my list. Coming in at number 12 is A Concerto is a Conversation, another New York Times short documentary. Incredibly well shot, edited film, very thoughtful conversations about reflecting on life and the path and roads that have been taken, and it was all very well done. I liked the imagery. I liked how it was edited. The New York Times is fantastic at what they do. I love their reporting. And it was a very thoughtful conversation that I really enjoyed. I gave it a 77 out of 100. Pretty good. Then we have At the Ready, a film that I was very interested in because it revolves around an area that I live in. It's like close to the border, not right on the border. Tucson's about, 50, 60 miles from the border, but in the general area. And it was a very interesting look at law enforcement, youth in law enforcement, especially Latino youth in law enforcement, and the border. And the thing, like I've said in the past review, was that I really liked was that they were taking current events that were happening and sprinkling them into the documentary and getting the subjects, who were three, either high schoolers or just graduated high schoolers, getting their opinions on it and seeing how their perception of this field and all of this stuff changed. And I really liked that. That was really interesting to me to see that point of view. It did drag. There was some pacing issues. A little rough. Felt like I was sitting for about 4 hours. It's only like an hour and a half. But a documentary that I thought was very well done. I gave it a 79 out of 100. That's pretty good. So I'm going to give full disclosure for number 10. I actually forgot to talk about it in my massive Sundance review video. I guess I just passed over it because it didn't have a poster, so I wasn't looking, so I just went to the next poster, which is completely my bad because this is actually, I think, probably my favorite short film of the entire festival that I saw, and This Is the Way We Rise. It's a documentary about a poet in Hawaii who started doing slam poetry and competing in competitions, but then took it a step further and is now using it towards activism on the islands, and it was edited really well, and a lot of it is just the poet doing what she does best and using the power of words, and the way it was edited was really well done, and the imagery is fascinating. And I'm so mad I didn't review it then because it really was probably one of my favorite short films I saw from the entire festival. It's got great themes about the power of words and the power of poetry. It's a topic I knew nothing about, and I left really intrigued. I was like, wow, this is really interesting. This is something that I really would like to know more about. I wanted to know more. Like I said, it's a short film. It's like Tears Teacher. I wanted to know more. And that's something that was really, really well done. I gave this an 80 out of 100. That's really, really good. Like I said, I really enjoyed this one. And it came in at number 10 on my list. And that is absolutely, most definitely my favorite short film. I'm looking now, yes. The rest of the films are feature films. So I cannot believe I missed that in my big reviews that I did. So it's crazy. But you know what else is crazy? My number 9, which is Prisoners of the Ghostland. Now look, it's not a fantastic movie. It's not. I do not think the writing's that well. It's very all over the place. A lot of the performances are not that good, but Nicolas Cage is on another level in this film, and I gotta give respect where respect is due. I had a blast. I will not lie about it when I said I had a blast with this film. It's not good whatsoever, but I had a fun time. 82 out of 100, and it comes in at number 9 on my list. Coming in at number 8 is 8 for Silver, a very interesting horror period piece drama type movie that has some really interesting mythology, but lacks a lot on the side of writing. There's a lot of really clear script flaws throughout, a lot of very dumb decisions and dumb characters that were only there to further the plot, and it was obvious. But it had some good computer CGI. I really liked the set design. I thought the set design was fantastic, and the way they built tension was very well done. So I will give credit where credit is due. 83 out of 100, and it comes in at number 8 on my list. 8 for Silver comes in at number 8. Coming in at number 7 is Primetime, a very well acted and executed and emotional thriller that I wanted more from. The main character, the performance from our main actor is heartbreaking. It's fantastic, and that alone is why it is so high on this list. Is from that performance alone and the tension that is built throughout the film. So I will give credit for the writing for that, being able to build tension, but a lot of that had to do with the performance of our main character. We only sympathize with our main character because of the performance, not because of the writing. We do not know really the motivation. We don't know what happened, why he decided to do this. The whole kind of secret of it is what's he gonna say, and then we end up never finding out what he was gonna say. So that's kind of the thing that kind of pushes it back for me, is okay, I am invested because of the performance, but at the same time I don't know why. And that was something that I wanted more of. It ended really abruptly, and I was like, oh, that's it, we're done. So it knocked a few points, but I did still enjoy the time I had with it. 84 out of 100, comes at number 7 on my list. 6 is On the Count of Three, one of the most raw, real, impactful films of the festival, and by far one of the runaways of the festival for just acting, directing. It's really, really fantastically well done. Christopher Abbott is fantastic. Gerard Carmichael is fantastic, both in front of the screen and behind the screen as the director in his directorial debut. This film hits very tough themes, but it does it in a light-hearted way, if that makes sense, because it's like a dark comedy. But it was very resounding, and it left a mark on me. It really did. It was very tough to watch. The ending is heartbreaking, but it was fantastic. It really was. I gave it an 87 out of 100. It comes at number 6 on my list. We are into the top 5, and number 5 is Together, a film that I was anticipating because, just solely because I love Ed Helms, and the synopsis sounded very interesting. Is it formulaic at times? Yes. But do I care? No. And the reason why I don't care is because the charm wins over those tropes. The heart of this film is fantastic, and this relationship I was rooting for heavily. I wanted it to happen heavily. Give credit to the writing for getting me really invested, but the performances are also fantastic. They kept me locked in. They were real. They convinced me I wanted it, and the ending is very abrupt, and that is an issue that I have, but the rest of it is fan-freaking-tastic. 88 out of 100. I really enjoyed it, and it comes in at number 5 on my list. Coming in at number 4 is Land, the directorial debut from Robin Wright, which is now available to watch, I think, in theaters and VOD, I believe. At least I know it's in theaters. I don't know about VOD, but it is a really gorgeous film. Like, technically, like, the cinematography is stunning. The sound design is brilliant, as well as the set design. It is the best atmosphere of a film that I've seen in a long time. Like, the atmosphere was fantastic. It's all credit to Robin Wright. She's the director. She's in charge of the cinematography. Like, it's a beautifully shot film. But the other thing that I really like is the friendship between Robin Wright and our I always butcher his name, so I'm not going to try to say it because I don't want to butcher it, but you all know who I'm talking about. The man that she ends up becoming, it's a companionship that they have and a friendship that they have is beautiful. It's a beautiful friendship that is heartbreaking at the end. I will not spoil it for you guys, but it's a very heartbreaking ending. And it was a film that left me, just in the feels. And it's fantastic. It's about grief and loss and acceptance and companionship. And I dug that. I did. It was one of the bigger surprises for me at Sundance. 89 out of 100. And it comes in at number 4 on my list. Guys, before I give you my top 3, let me know down below in the comments, have you seen any of these films? What did you think of any of these films? If you were at Sundance, which one of these films was your favorite? Or if you have not seen any of these films, which one are you looking forward to seeing the most? Let me know down below in the comments. Let's have a conversation. But coming in at number 3 is Coda, the one that won all of the awards, the Grand Prize Award, the Directing Award, the Ensemble Award, and the Audience Choice Award. The first review I did from Sundance, go check it out. It's fantastic. It was the opening night first film that was shown, and it was brilliant. Emilia Jones is fantastic. The rest of the cast and supporting cast are brilliant. The decision to use deaf actors in the role of deaf people was perfect, and it needed to happen, and it was important. It was important because it is showing representation for the deaf community. That is what this film is about the deaf community, and showing that they're not helpless. They can do things. They can live life, and that was very empowering. And I loved that. And this film is heartfelt and emotional, and it makes you feel warm inside. It's brilliant. My dad loved it. It was like his favorite of the festival. He only watched a few of them, but like it was his favorite. It was one of my mom's favorite. Brilliant movie. Got bought by Apple for a record deal, and when it comes out, y'all better be watching it because it is absolutely fantastic. I gave it a 92 out of 100. It comes in at number 3 on my list. Number 2, y'all aren't gonna be expecting this because number 2 is Judas and the Black Messiah. It ain't number 1, it's number 2. But I mean, come on, Daniel Kaluuya, your time's come. This has got to be his Oscar. I mean, it has to be. It has to be. It has to happen. He is brilliant in this film, and the supporting cast is fantastic. Lakeith Stanfield is fantastic. Jesse Plemons is fantastic. They are great. The direction of this film from Shaka King is fantastic. It's brilliant. It's very, very well done, and it tackles topics that are still being talked about today. Things that took place decades ago are still resonating today. Some few pacing issues, I'll give it that. But it is a brilliant movie in every way, shape, and form. I gave it a 94 out of 100. One of my favorites of the year. And number 2 on my list from Sundance. But guys, if you've been following me, if you've been hearing me sing the praises to the choir, number 1 is Mass. An acting, writing, directing masterclass. Absolutely brilliant. Raw, real, emotional. This is a film that's going to win Oscars next year. Not even this year. Next year, this film is going to win Oscars. Jason Isaacs is going to win an Oscar. It's going to happen. I mean, Martha Plimpton, Ann Dote. You know, like they're all going to get nominated. And I would say at least one, maybe two of them will win. It's brilliant. The script's airtight. A directorial debut is done meticulously and masterfully. It's all shot in one location, and it's a conversation. That's all it is. There's no action set pieces. There's no like comedy quips or jokes. It's a conversation. That's all it is, and it's brilliant. I gave this a 98 out of 100. It is a brilliant movie, and when it comes out, I implore you, I beg you to go watch this film, because it is a brilliant movie. Not just from Sundance, not just from this year, but like what I have seen ever. The film is brilliant. 98 out of 100, and it is my favorite film that I saw from Sundance 2021. Guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching the video, checking out my thoughts from all of the films I watched at Sundance. That was one of the best experiences I've had so far in my time as a critic and as a film YouTuber. It was so much fun getting to sit and watch with my mom and hang out and just watch new movies that are, not big blockbusters. It's indie films. Like, that's what this is. And it's celebrating independent film. And I really love that and respect that. And it's fantastic. And I had a lot of fun. So that rounds out Sundance content. Now, in about a few weeks, 2-3 weeks, we're gearing up for South by Southwest, everybody. I'm doing it. It's coming. We're going to do that as well. I'm actually going to see some of the films I missed at Sundance at South by Southwest. So that will be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. But guys, that is pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. I have a pretty big video coming out at the end of this week. You guys will know it when you see it, but I have a very big video coming out this week. That's going to be there's a lot to talk about. I've got a lot to talk about. Like, my life is changing very significantly. So make sure you gear up and get ready for that, because that's going to be big. But thank you for watching. Go check out my Twitter. Go check out my website for immediate movie reactions, more in-depth written movie reviews. That's it, guys. Thanks so much. Have a good rest of your day. We'll see you in the next video.